Hello from downtown Boston. I've got Noah here with me. And we didn't have any incidents this time getting here. But look we are headed into the Old South Meeting House. There is an event tonight. You guys, it is time, it is happening. We are upon the 250th of Bunker Hill. And right now, tonight, is the 200th since they first laid that cornerstone at the Bunker Hill Monument. So we are here for an event that is recreating the evening celebrations associated with that. I don't know how this is going to go or exactly what's going to happen, but I am so dang excited. Okay guys, we have to go in, but people are super dressed up and we had no idea. I'm glad I wore a dress, but yeah, people are like in full-on formal attire. This is going to be very interesting. We have to go in, but I also wanted to show you guys, and I hope to God I can film. I don't know, this might be weird, but here they gave us these programs. Like this is a full-on legit, and you can see her, John Quincy Adams, Daniel Webster, General Lafayette, all going to be represented here along with a beautiful orchestra. So let's go see, but okay, I'll check in with you guys later. Look at this, a place that really has seen so many of this. Of course, it started as a Puritan meeting room, church, and I'm really emotional, you guys. This is overwhelming. This is exactly what this place has seen over the years. We'll talk more about that later. My boy just wanted me to remind you guys that Ben Franklin was actually baptized here. So many amazing things happened here, but that's one of them. Let's look at the program. And so far, so good. Nobody said anything about filming, so we might be able to rock and roll with this. They are following the historic program as it was. This is so dang cool. Excited too because our friend the Marquis de Lafayette is here, and it's the wonderful man that we've seen over the years at historic sites. He's like the official Lafayette. He's the one who actually portrays him in Williamsburg. So,
an act of remembrance, how an earlier generation of Americans looked for inspiration to the history of the nation's founding during an era of peril and change. And what better venue than this, the Old South Meeting House, the People's House, so pivotal itself as a place of discourse and debate and consensus in the run-up to revolution, as worthy heirs to the legacy left to us by our nation's founding generation.
The cornerstone was laid with ceremony and pomp on June 17, 1825, before an audience of at least 60,000 on Bunker Hill. The guests and those who had furnished themselves with tickets formed into a procession and moved to the summit of Bunker's Hill to dine. And here a spectacle was presented which baffles description. An awning had been erected, provided with tables and seats. 4,400 plates were set, and not one was unoccupied. The dinner was as good as could be expected, considering it was emphatically provided for an army. After the cloth was removed, the toasts you will hear tonight were drunk, interspersed with music, also reproduced for this occasion. In 1825, the esteemed Mason Walter James was the conductor of 1,000 members of the orchestra and chorus. Today, we have arranged this music for an ensemble led by Stephanie D. Opera Chorus and Orchestra. In closing, the newspaper reported that the bards of the day opined that the dozen-plus odes had been written for the occasion by gentlemen who had successfully wooed the tuneful nine. I didn't know who the tuneful nine were, but they are the muses: Calliope, Clio, Erato, Euterpe, Melpomene, Polymnia, Terpsichore, Thalia, and Urania. Here's an extra full one for you.
I need it. The marvels of Bunker Hill Valley. We inhale the air they breathe. We tread the ground they trod. We surround the altar where their lives were offered. We swear devotion to their cause.
Master of the Grand Lodge of Masons in Massachusetts, here's the next sentiment.
Washington and Lafayette, the survivors of Bunker Hill Battle, the gloom of the day may dwell on their recollection, but in the brightness of this day, they feel they fought under the auspices of heaven. Here, here, here.
In response to that toast, I will share with you words that are oft-credited to me and never more appropriate than today. They are simply, I live an American, I shall die an American.
The Continental Army, whom victory could not elate, whom defeat could not depress, their cause, their country, their trust, their God.
The emboldened wisdom of the nation which wrought the freedom of one hemisphere and promulgated the principles which will emancipate the other.
join me in celebrating the memory of Joseph Warren. His name comes to us as the gentle rain from heaven, refreshing the place beneath. Huzzah!
Why should they mortals tremble at the sight of death and destruction in the field of battle, where blood and carnage, flow the ground in crimson, showing the death wounds, where blood and carnage, flow the ground in crimson, showing with death groans. Now was the day as for the villains, bursting from Marseilles, burning the cannons, rattling in grape shot, like the strawberries not watered in vinegar, rattling in grape shot,
Pleasure to invite Alan Kaufman of the Lafayette Society of Massachusetts and probably elsewhere to introduce his favorite.
To the honored guest of the day, indeed the nation's guest as he is known, a statesman and a patriot who knows no party but his country, who feels no impulse but her welfare, health and long life to General Lafayette. Vive Lafayette!
Viva Lafayette!
Now, without any introduction whatsoever, I bring you himself.
Gentlemen and ladies, I will not longer trespass upon your time, other than to thank you in the name of my revolutionary companions in arms and myself in the testimonies of esteem and affection, I may say of filial affection, which have been bestowed upon us on this memorable celebration of this anniversary day, and to offer our fervent prayers for the preservation of that republican freedom, equality, and self-government, that blessed union between the states of the Confederacy, which we have fought and bled, on which rest the hopes of mankind! The following sentiment: to Bunker Hill and the holy resistance to oppression, which has already enfranchised the American hemisphere, the next half-century's Julie's toast shall be to enfranchise Europe! amongst this fine gathering here this evening who are in want of giving their own toast? If that is the case, please stand and be recognized and deliver your toast. Monsieur.
Colonel.
Of course.
A toast to the most glorious flag to ever fly over land, sea, air, and through the vastness of space. Here's to the red of it, death not a thread of it, no nor a shred of it, and all the spread of it from foot to head. But heroes bled for it, face steel and bled for it, precious blood shed for it, bathing it red. Here's to the white of it, thrilled by the sight of it, who knows the right of it, but feels the might of it through day and night. Womanhood cared for it, made manhood dare for it, pure its prayer for it, keeps it so white. Here's to the blue of it, beauteous view of it, heavenly hue of it, star-spangled dew of it, constant and true. Diadems gleam for it, state stands supreme for it, liberty's green for it, brightens and blue. Here's to the whole of it, the stars, stripes, and pole of it, the body and soul of it, oh, and the roll of it, sun shining through. Hearts in accord for it, sweat by the sword for it, thanking the Lord for it, red, white, and blue.
Are there others?
I'd like to offer a toast to the musicians who have made these words immortal in our ears. The musicians.
To General Lafayette, heaven saw fit to ordain that the electric spark of liberty was to be conducted through you from the new world to the old, and your sentiment a few minutes ago, about 50 years from now, the Jubilee will be the victory of American principles in Europe, including your home country, France. Godspeed.
A toast to my uncle way back, Reverend Samuel McClintock, who was seen praying at the battle, and Lydia H. Chardonnay in the 19th century wrote a poem, The Prayer of Bunker Hill.
Hear, hear.
Any others, dear friends? Or perhaps oh yes, please come forward. Well, gentlemen and ladies, I have one last toast, and that is to history. I am a firm believer that all the answers to the future might be found in the past if we study our history. And let us never forget the great moments in the history of this nation, the sacrifices that have been made in the past, in the present, and that will be made in the future for this great nation of the United States of America.
Oh, sing and sing.
with the Marquis. How old were you, Noah? It's been a few years. 9 years old, maybe? He's 18 now. We really want to show him this. If we can talk to him, because Noah really wants to see him again. Imagine that tonight, 200 years ago, this happened. These men gathered here to honor Bunker Hill and the formation of the beautiful monument that I take you guys to. I am feeling so emotional. This is just hitting me like a ton of bricks. This is absolutely incredible. There were 40 veterans at the actual event in 1825. 40 from the battle, 190 veterans of the Rev War in general. And of course, the Marquis really was here. The things that have happened here, it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm almost at a loss for words, and I'm never at a loss for words. But being in here, being able to see what it would have been like in 1825 is absolutely astounding. This is so great.
Are you ready to go to the next?
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. He's so nice too, such a great man. That was incredible. Worth it just for that alone. And to get the updated pic. The updated photo. All right. Make sure to show you guys this real quick. If you've been watching my stuff, you know who that is. That's our friend, Reverend George Whitefield. Look, I can't even talk. I'm so excited right now. We have followed him from Newburyport to Savannah and back. And here you go. Iterate preacher. George Whitefield visits Boston, helps create revival here, delivers sermons here at the Old South Meeting House. Incredible. And Dr. Joseph Warren gave his orations on the anniversary of the Boston Massacre here. Oh, how handy. Look at this. Here we go. But it's a crazy story. He actually climbed through one of the side windows because, you know, he was super wanted. And it was dangerous being Joseph Warren at the time. He was a real ball buster, for lack of a better term that I can come up with right now while my brain is swirling. Anyways, he came through one of the side windows and took off his coat, and he was dressed in a toga. A fiery speech right up there. Amazing stuff, you guys. I can't believe Lafayette's speech. It's like he was staring into my soul when he was talking about history. Oh my gosh, I just started crying like full on ugly tears. This has been an amazing night. Going back to 6-year-old me, watching Johnny Tremaine blow that whistle, Sam Adams saying, "Make Boston Harbor a teapot tonight." My gosh, here we are. It's a real thing. History is alive, it's real, and it's waiting to be explored. Wow. Like, did all that really just happen? That was so beautiful. I hope you guys enjoy that. I should get that. Old South Meeting House. Let's look at it again. I just can't get over it. Can you believe that? Built in 1729 as a Puritan meeting house. And it became so much more, but it was the heartbeat of faith in America, really, because you think about like the Massachusetts Bay Colony being the start of it all, and the Puritan founders, and that being like the heartbeat, definitely of Boston. Really, you could argue of the whole nation. Well, guys, we decided, what the heck? Were we really not gonna visit Bunker Hill on the eve of the battle 250 years ago? Of course we had to, and look at this. Here is a list of some of the events taking place. Everything down here at the bottom of the hill is decorated beautifully. We're gonna head over to Warren Tavern because Noah and I want to share some chicken tendies. I know, I'm like the chicken tendy queen. It's my safe choice, it just sounded good. We're really hungry, I haven't eaten, and we went to that event and we're like, you know what, let's make a night of it. So here we are, and it's a beautiful night. It's like 65 degrees too, so not too shabby. Here are the names of the soldiers killed June 17th, 1775. 250 years ago tomorrow. We are on the eve of the momentous battle. So amazing to think about as we've been following this journey, that we're finally at this point. And of course, Gridley, Knowlton, Prescott, Putnam, we're up all night tonight till 5 a.m. digging and building those fortifications and redoubts down here in preparation of the big battle. We went to Portsmouth the other day, if you guys watched that, and the North Church in Portsmouth, which I see almost every day of the week. We went inside and we saw that plaque of the Reverend Samuel Langdon. Well, tonight, 250 years ago, he came here and he blessed the troops and he said a prayer for them. Prayed for their safety and their success at Bunker Hill. And he took his prayer from the Bible, from Jeremiah 13:16. The Reverend Langdon blessed them and he said, "Glory to the Lord your God before he brings the darkness, before your feet stumble on the darkening hills. Give glory and thanks to your God." Well, they were about to go into the battle, and you know they were all contemplating it. Dr. Warren himself had a Bible in his pocket. The British end up confiscating it and mutilating his body down on Breed's Hill to the point of being unrecognizable. But he had it with him. Faith was going to be foremost on all their minds as they were facing life and death situations, and the very real reality that many of them faced tomorrow, almost 250 years ago. 150 Americans killed, wounded, or captured. Number of British killed or wounded totaling 1,054, including 89 officers. So this was this was no joke. $250 years ago. You can see they've got tents. They did have a different event this morning, and then tomorrow there will be a commemoration, of course. I won't make it tomorrow. I have to actually work. But then, you know, we've got the big battle in Gloucester this weekend. Very excited about that. But look at, they've put all these flags here. And this says, this commemorative flag garden features 1,500 British and American flags to honor those who fought and died. Yeah, it was just a little over 1,500. Though technically a British victory, the battle demonstrated the resolve and courage of colonial forces, igniting the spirit of American independence. By including both British and American, we acknowledge the shared humanity of all who took place in this battle and pay tribute to their sacrifice. Incredible stuff, you guys. I knew I'd be emotional tonight. I didn't know how emotional. This is pretty wild. Our friend William Prescott again. Tonight he'd be getting ready to dig. I'm sorry if I keep saying 250 years ago, but it's just amazing. And 200 years ago today, when the Marquis de Lafayette came and laid that cornerstone, it was a huge ceremony. I think I told you guys before, there were 40 veterans actually from the Battle of Bunker Hill here, and thousands of people came out. But it would take years to actually complete and open. If you watched my last Bunker Hill video, I went over kind of some of that story, but I just wanted to take a look tonight on the eve of the battle, especially since we're not going to get here tomorrow. We'll call this we were here. Especially since we know that they were here digging and working through the night. And remember that Joseph Warren he didn't have to be here. He had been given the generalship, didn't formally accept it yet, really came as a volunteer with his men, and people were honestly shocked to see him. No more so than the redcoats themselves. They were really shocked that he was here, and sadly his body became like a trophy prize. But yeah, and they burned it, you know, they burned Charlestown down, and 5 years later opened the tavern in his honor. So I'm gonna go down there and take a look. Is that a dog or a horse? Oh my gosh.
He's ready to go.
So he knows the Gaelic too, huh? It's beautiful. Bye, Dublin. He's full on speaking Irish Gaelic to the dog. Be a vlog if I didn't make a four-legged friend, right? And speaking of Celtic, how about all those songs at the 200th memorial of the Bunker Hill Monument anniversary? How about all the songs inspired by Scottish songs? Isn't that amazing? I'm telling you, Scots are everywhere and have been so influential. A lot of cultures have, and I think it's all amazing. Just saying, is actively taking the dog for a walk and speaking to it in Irish. Talking to the dog like I talk to mine, like they're people. Because they are. Dogs are very nice people. But he is full on speaking Irish Gaelic to the dog. Whose name was Dublin, by the way? I mean, you might say we're having the perfect night. Even more perfect when Noah finally eats, because I think he's starving to death. Are you starving to death? Yeah. I am too. He's gotten into the spirit of decorating with the red, white, and blue everywhere. It's so pretty. I know I say that every time I come down here, but not the first time, won't be the last. So it's going to be a good dinner when Paul Revere is watching over you. All right, back where we started. Found the car, and it is 10:05 at night, and we are down here. So we still have an hour drive home. Gonna work on this video, but just think about what was going on 250 years ago tonight. It's really amazing when you stop and think about it. And I am so grateful and blessed and happy to be able to come down here and do this and see this and be part of it. It's been a lifelong dream, and I just am so enamored by all of this. And I hope that it's been entertaining and educational as we followed this timeline to Bunker Hill. I'm that history chick, and like Patrick Henry, I know of no way of judging the future but by the past. As I said, the past is alive, it's real, and it's waiting to be explored. Thanks so much. Remember, I'm also on Instagram at that_historychick, on Facebook at thathistorychick, and right here with more content and videos at thathistorychick on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching, guys. The past is now. 250 years in the making.